Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today is our first episode of the Biology Revision series. We will first cover Chapter 1 of IGCSE Biology, Characteristics and Classification of Living Organisms. This is essential foundational knowledge, so let's make it crystal clear. We will cover what makes something alive and how scientists classify all life on Earth. Let's jump in. First question, what makes something alive? Scientists use 7 characteristics remembered by the acronym Mrs. Gren. M for movement, R for respiration, S for sensitivity, G for growth, R for reproduction, E for excretion, and N for nutrition. Let's start with movement. All living things move. Animals run and swim, but plants move too. Roots go down, stems grow up, leaves turn towards the light. Respiration. The chemical process that releases energy from the food in every living cell is called respiration. Don't confuse this with breathing. Respiration happens inside the cells to power everything else. Sensitivity. This is where you detect and respond to changes in the environment. Plants grow towards the light. You flinch from pain. Bacteria move towards food. Fourth one is growth. Living things increase in size and develop. This means getting bigger and more complex, not just adding material. R for reproduction. Producing offspring. This can be sexual like humans or asexual like bacteria splitting into two. Life continues through reproduction. E for excretion. Removing of waste products made by chemical reaction is called excretion. Humans excrete carbon dioxide when breathing out and urea in urine. This isn't same as addition. This is because addition is removing of undigested food, not metabolic waste products. Lastly, N for nutrition. Taking in nutrients for energy and growth is known as nutrition. Animals eat food. Plants make their own through photosynthesis. Remember, something must show all the 7 characteristics to be classified as a living thing. Having known what makes a living thing, let us understand some classification basics. Now, how do we organize millions of species? That's where classification comes in. Scientists have grouped organisms based on shared characteristics. The system we use is called binomial system. Every organism gets a 2-part Latin name, like Homo sapiens for humans. The first word is the genus, the second is the species. The classification hierarchy goes from broad to specific. Think of it like an address, from country down to house number. This is the kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and finally to species. A species is a group of organisms that is able to produce a fertile offspring. The rules for nomenclature is that this first word should be starting with a capital letter and the second with a small letter. Now let us understand the 5 main kingdoms: animals, plants, fungi, protoctists, and prokaryotes. Before exploring the 5 main kingdoms, let us understand some common features of living cells and how DNA sequencing help to classify organisms. All living cells contain cytoplasm, cell membrane, DNA or the genetic material, ribosomes and enzymes. Classification can be done by using 2 main methods, either by comparing the anatomy of different similarly looking organisms or by DNA sequencing. In DNA sequencing, the sequence of bases in the DNA is used as a means of classification. Why do we use it? Because groups of organisms which share a more recent ancestor have base sequences in DNA that are more similar than those that share only a distant ancestor. This DNA analysis have revolutionized the classification methods, sometimes confirming traditional groupings and other times forcing scientists to rethink them. Now let's explore the animal kingdom. There are two broad categories we need to see for the IGCSE syllabus. One is the invertebrates and the second is the vertebrates. Before we move on to explore those two categories, we need to first establish what makes something an animal in the first place. Some key characteristics of animals are that all animals are multicellular, eukaryotic, that is, the cells have a nucleus and a membrane-bound organelles. They are heterotrophic. They cannot make their own food. They must consume other organisms. They do not have cell walls. Unlike plants and fungi, animal cells only have a cell membrane. They can store carbohydrates as glycogen, not like starch in plants. Most animals can move at some stage of their life cycle, and they have a nervous coordination allowing them to respond quickly to their environment. Now, having understood what makes an organism an animal, let us now go to the invertebrates. Invertebrates are animals without a backbone. There are various groups of invertebrates, but for the IGCSE syllabus, you only need to know one of it, the arthropods. This is the most successful animals on earth. Think about this. Arthropods make up about 80% of all known animal species. Why might they be so successful? This is because they have very key features. Some of them are, they have an exoskeleton. This is a hard outer covering made of chitin, providing protection and support. They have jointed legs. Arthropod literally means jointed foot. Segmented body. Their body is divided into distinct sections, and they have a bilateral symmetry. And now, arthropods are divided into classes. They are insects, arachnids, crustaceans, and myriapods. Let us look at insects first. Insects have three body parts: the head, thorax, and abdomen. They have 3 pairs of legs, so 6 legs in total. Usually they have 2 pairs of wings and 1 pair of antennae. Some examples of insects include bees, grasshoppers, dragonflies, etc. Now let's look at arachnids. Arachnids are those spiders, scorpions, and ticks. They have 2 main body parts, the cephalothorax and the abdomen. They usually have 4 pairs of legs. They do not have any antenna or wings. Moving on, let's look at crustaceans. They have a hard exoskeleton, often with calcium, 2 pairs of antennae, various number of legs, mostly aquatic. Some examples include crabs, prawns, woodlice, etc. Lastly, we have the myriapods. These are the centipedes and millipedes. They have many body segments and many pairs of legs. They have 1 pair of antennae. Now let's explore vertebrates, the group we belong to. What defines a vertebrate? All vertebrates share these features. They have a backbone made of individual bones called vertebrae. They have an internal skeleton made of bone or cartilage. They have a closed circulatory system with a heart. They have a well-developed brain protected by a skull, and often a bilateral symmetry. There are 5 major classes of vertebrates: the fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Let's explore the fish. A fish is adapted for aquatic life. Key features include they live in water. They have gills for extracting oxygen from water. They have scales covering the body, fins for movement and balance, and a streamlined body shape. They lay eggs in water and are cold-blooded. This means the body temperature depends on the environment. Examples include salmon, sharks, goldfish, tuna. Next up, we have the amphibians. The name means double life. Key features of amphibians include they can live both in water and on land. They have a moist, permeable skin that allows gas exchange. They lay eggs in water. Their youngs have gills. Adults develop lungs and legs. They are cold-blooded and go through metamorphosis. Examples include frogs, toads, newts, and salamanders. Moving on to reptiles. Reptiles were the first vertebrates truly adapted to life on land. Their key features are they have a dry, scaly skin made of keratin, which is waterproof. They lay eggs with the tough, leathery shells on land. They have lungs for breathing throughout life, and they are cold-blooded. Examples include snakes, lizards, crocodiles, turtles, and tortoises. Next up, we have the birds. Birds are highly specialized for flight. Key features include feathers for flight, insulation, and display. They have wings, modified front limbs. They have a beak with no teeth. They lay hard-shelled eggs. They are warm-blooded. Warm-blooded means they can maintain a constant body temperature and does not need to depend on the surrounding temperature. They have hollow bones which are lightweight and strong. They have a very efficient respiratory system and a 4-chambered heart. Examples of birds include eagles, penguins, ostriches, sparrows, and parrots. Lastly, let's look at mammals. This is where we belong. Mammals are incredibly diverse. Some key features of mammals are they have hair or fur covering their body. Females have mammary glands to produce milk to feed their young. Most give birth to live young. They are warm-blooded. They have 4-chambered heart and a well-developed brain. They have different types of teeth and external ears. Moving on to the plant kingdom. Some key features of plants are that they are multicellular. They have cell walls made of cellulose. Most contain chlorophyll in their chloroplasts. And they are autotrophic, that is, they can make their own food through photosynthesis. And they store carbohydrates as starch. For extended students, the syllabus includes organisms within the plant kingdom and limited to ferns and flowering plants. Ferns are the non-flowering plants. They do not produce any flowers. They reproduce using spores and have roots, stems, and leaves. Flowering plants have flowers for reproduction, produce seeds, and are divided into dicotyledons and monocotyledons based on the number of seed leaves. When comparing monocotyledons and dicotyledons, we need to know that monocotyledons contain petals in multiples of 3 and parallel veins. Dicotyledons contains petals in multiples of 5 and have reticulated veins. Next kingdom is the fungi. The key features of fungi are they can be single-celled like yeast or multicellular like mushrooms. They have a cell wall made of chitin and not cellulose. No, they don't have any chlorophyll and so cannot photosynthesize. They feed on dead organic matter. They secrete enzymes to digest food externally, then absorb their nutrients. They reproduce using spores. Their body is made of thread-like hyphae, network called mycelium. Their examples are mushrooms, molds, and yeast. The important distinction is that fungi have cell walls, but they are made of chitin and not cellulose like plants. Kingdom 4 is the prokaryotes. This is where things get really different. These organisms include most of the bacteria and blue-green algae. The key features of them are they're unicellular. They don't have any nucleus. DNA floats freely in the cytoplasm. They have a cell wall made of peptidoglycan and not cellulose or chitin. They do not have any membrane-bound organelles. The DNA are often circular, plus some small DNA loops called plasmids. They are very small and they reproduce by binary fission. The major difference between prokaryotes and all the other kingdoms is the lack of the nucleus. The last kingdom is the Protoctist. This is a miscellaneous kingdom for organisms that don't fit elsewhere. The key features include they are mostly unicellular and some are multicellular. They are eukaryotic, that is, they have a nucleus. They have a mixed group of plant-like and animal-like members. Examples include amoeba, paramecium, chlorella, and algae. Having finished all the kingdoms, now let's talk about viruses. Now, for something controversial, viruses is not even a living organism. They are not even cells. They only consist of a genetic material, DNA or even RNA, and are surrounded by a protein coat known as capsid. Sometimes they have a lipid envelope and much smaller than bacteria. They do not have any organelles, cell membrane, or any cytoplasm. So, are they actually alive? The thing is, they do not follow any of the characteristics followed by other living organisms except for reproduction, and that too only inside host cells. So the conclusion is, viruses are considered non-living because they fail most life characteristics and can only reproduce inside living host cells. The last topic in this chapter is the dichotomous keys. You need to know how to construct and use the dichotomous keys based on identifiable features. These keys are used to identify organisms based on a series of questions about their features. The word dichotomous means branching into two, and it leads the user through to the name of the organism by giving two descriptions at a time and asking them to choose. Each choice leads the user onto another two descriptions. In order to successfully navigate a key, you need to pick a single organism to start with and follow the statements from the beginning until you find the name. You then pick another organism and start at the beginning of the key again, repeating until all the organisms are named. In the next slide, we have an example of how to use a dichotomous key to find the names of these organisms. And that wraps up Chapter 1, Characteristics of Living Organisms. In this chapter, we explored what makes something alive, from the 7 life processes to how all living things share these key characteristics that define life itself. These basics are the foundation of biology, and they will connect to everything you will learn in the chapters ahead, especially when we dive into cells, the building blocks of all living organisms. Be sure to recall each of the 7 characteristics and give examples for each. It's a common question. Up next, we will take a closer look at the structure and function of cells in Chapter 2, where the real story of life begins. If you found this lesson helpful, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter in our Examify IGCSE Biology revision series. You can also join our free WhatsApp community for updates and live sessions. Links in the description below. And if you're serious about boosting your grades, don't forget to check out our Examify mock papers and topical revision packs made to help you study smart and score higher. Until next time, bye for now.